everyone. But today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about the Together in Jesus Sacrament Prep program that publishing offers. And I know that many of you utilize the Gospel Weeklies. And so Together in Jesus program fits just perfectly when you're using the Gospel Weeklies and you're transitioning to the Sacrament Prep. So we will get started here in just a second. Hi, Eileen. How are you? And Paula, Nancy. Nice to see everyone. And we have about another minute to go, and we'll start the webinar officially, I should say. So thank you everyone for joining us. We really do appreciate you being here and that you're interested in learning more about the Together in Jesus Sac Prep program. Okay, well, since it's almost 5 after, let's officially begin. Hello, everyone. My name is Jen Miller, and I am the outside sales representative for Flom Publishing. For the Gospel Weeklies, for Together in Jesus. I am the outside sales representative, and then I work very closely with my teammate, Bob Temmie. And
yes, hi everyone, I'm Bob and Temmie, and I cover Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin, Iowa, and Missouri as the inside sales rep.
So we work together. So you always know that you have 2 people here to support you with whatever you have, whether you have a question, a problem, a concern, or if you just want to say how wonderful the Gospel Weeklies are. We're here to listen to that as well. So today we're going to be discussing the Together in Jesus Sacrament Prep program. And so I come from the church background. That is, I was working for 7 years at a very large parish. And so I know where you're coming from when you're looking to organize a sacrament prep program. Many of you, almost all of you, utilize the Gospel Weeklies, and the Together in Jesus program that you see right here. And Bob is going to be sharing his screen here in just a second. We're going to be walking through a little bit more detail so you can really see the inside. But our Together in Jesus program is a perfect resource to utilize with the Gospel Weeklies. You know, the Gospel Weeklies, and this is the Good News version, come nested together, the student pages. Well, the Together in Jesus program does the very same exact thing. This is the teaching guide right here, but here you have the student folder that comes with the student pages that are nested together, okay? So the kids already know the flow of the program. The outside, let's talk about the outside of the student folder. Very durable. So it's something that if you want to send home, I know a lot of you are utilizing the program in-house in the classroom, but some are doing a little bit of both. Some are in the classroom, some are sitting at home. So this folder is very, very durable. So if that's a choice that you're sending home, it's very durable. It will last during all 6 lessons very easily. Inside that you see here, it's very well made, very thought oriented. We have all the prayers that are needed to be learned inside on the folder. So it's right there for them to learn the act of contrition. Also over here on the side talks about how the process of going through first reconciliation, kind of like the instructions, step-by-step instructions. And then Bob, go ahead and share your screen if you would, and we will look at the inside of the teaching guide, which will also show a little bit of what the student pages look like inside. So while Bob is pulling that up, I'll talk about some of the other components, and then we'll get to the inside of the student pages. But along with the student pages, it's important to know that you have a 6-week sacrament program for first reconciliation. And so you have 6 weeks. Now we're going to talk about the ideas on how to lengthen If you wanted it a little bit longer than 6 weeks, how you can go about doing that. But this program is 6 weeks. And there are a couple components on the other side of the folder that goes along with those pages. Okay, and here we go. So here, that was perfect timing, Bob.
Perfect.
So here is inside here, we're just going to look at what the overview of the teaching guide look like. So way you can see exactly what you would be receiving if you've never seen the Together in Jesus program. So you have right there on the left some of the information on the objective and on how to teach. The timing, how long it could you could use and teach the objective, the timing of it, depending upon how long you have during the prep for this sacrament. Right there where Bob is pointing to is a example of what the actual lesson looks like. Okay, so there are 6 lessons, like I said previously, and you will see Bob hover over that little where the sticker would go. So I'm going to show you here in just a second, but we also offer within this program stickers that go along with the actual lessons. And I always like to point out, these stickers, they're not just stickers that you will just, place on a notebook or have fun with. These stickers, there's a method behind the madness, I guess I should say. These stickers are a perfect vehicle for the student to learn and keep engaged. Typically sacrament prep is for second graders, right? And you know how hard it is to keep second graders focused. Well, this is just another way to enhance the learning of the second grader. Just go ahead and scan down a little bit, Bob, if you wouldn't mind, just so they can see a little bit more of the content. Go ahead if that's, there you go. So there's another side. You can see where the on the right-hand column, what the teacher guide is explaining, but there on the left is another picture of the inside of the student pages. This just gives you a good idea, just so you can see it. There's different reproducibles. There's also, and once Bob stops sharing his screen, which go ahead, Bob, go ahead. You can go back to not sharing. He is going to provide for you the link to bonus resources as well. If he had, and you may have already done that, Bob, but so you have access to this program, whether you're wanting English or Spanish. And inside, so we looked at the teaching guide and the student pages, but here on the other side is something that I wanted to make note of. One of the things that we take great pride in is how most of our products really relate well back to family catechesis. And there are 2 items in here that promote family learning and family catechesis. And one is it's called Family Time, and it's a double page item here. And what this does is just brings in the family to the student while the student is learning this sacrament and preparing for their sacrament. This is something that the parent can take great use of. This comes along with the program. And this actual piece here is perfect, like for hanging on the refrigerator, say, for example. And it is broken down as an introduction to the parent, but then also the actual 6 lessons. So if the student, let's say, is learning their sacrament prep on campus at the parish, this is a perfect resource for the parent to stay involved, to be able to ask the questions, to be able to be a big part of their sacrament prep material. And then also right here is a great reference sheet that comes with the program. And this is almost like a Q&A of like the top questions parents usually ask about a program. For example, this one here is, what is my part in preparing my child for first reconciliation? What can my child understand about sin and reconciliation at this young age? and then it'll, answer those questions and that type of thing. So it's a 1, 2, 3, 4 page front and back reference sheet. And then here are those stickers we were talking about earlier when Bob was showing his screen. And you can see there by seeing how vivid and how greatly, they're illustrated so nicely, something to really keep the child's attention. And then obviously they put it in the program. It relates back to the lesson. And then this part of the stickers here are just little nameplates and things like that can go on the folder. Okay, so that is the first reconciliation. We got to keep on schedule here. And if you have any questions whatsoever, make sure you put them in the chat. And while I am going through the webinar here, Bob is here to answer any of your questions whatsoever. He's putting in there different ideas of things, as well as, the different prices and some website links and things like that. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to mention, that in First Reconciliation, the lesson focus, what the focus is for the different lessons. We have Bible stories about Christian living, parable of Good Samaritan, the 10 Commandments, the Sermon on the Mount, and the parable of the prodigal son. So those are the actual Bible stories that are covered in the First Reconciliation. Okay, so then let's move on to the First Eucharist. So obviously this is a different color than the other, than the First Reconciliation. The components are the same. You still receive the teaching guide to teach the program, and then you have the First Eucharist folder set up the exact same way. We have 6 lessons in the First Eucharist, as well as the stickers that go along with the lessons, as well as the family time poster that we talked about earlier, as well as the Q&A questions for parents. And the lessons focus in the First Eucharist, they focus on sacraments of initiation, the church year, the miracle of the loaves and fish, and the Last Supper. So those are the different lesson focus there. Bob, if you want to show the inside of the First Eucharist, we can do that. That way you feel comfortable seeing exactly what's in the program. There you go. There we have. So as he scrolls down, that first page is part of the teaching guide. The second page here, you'll see on the left-hand side is the teaching guide, and then in the square is what the students see. It's the student pages. You can see how engaging the photos are. They're up-to-date photos. They're photos that are going to draw the children in. The photos look like them, and they're going to be looking at the different photos, and then you take those stickers that go along with the program, and it enables them to just to stay engaged and want to learn. Because as I was saying before, I always coordinated for all the sacraments at a large parish. It was very hard to keep them engaged. That is what this webinar today is kind of about. A lot of you use this program and love it. And I know exactly why you love it, because it really brings and keeps the child there. Some of you are looking to branch out a little bit. And so that's what we're wanting to do too. This is our first webinar of 101 with Jen. And Bob's always going to be here with me. He's my backbone and I love him. But we want to make sure that you feel comfortable when you're ordering a product, that you feel like if you have a question, or maybe you want an extra idea, that you can come to us. You can give us a call. Bob has put in to the chat our contact information, or attend the next webinar that's coming out. And at the beginning of the webinar this afternoon, Bob put in there that we are having a Gospel Weeklies 101 coming up in April. So Bob will put that at the date in there for you to hold the date. And again, we're going through a brief training of the product. But here towards the end, we're going to be inviting Corinne Latimer from Creative Communications, and we're going to talk about products that will then take that topic to the next level. So for example, Together in Jesus, Sacrament Prep. A lot of you use the program, love it, but you want to bring some other resources into it to either maybe lengthen the program or maybe just kind of mix it up a little bit, you know, and keep the kids engaged. So at the parish that I used to work at, there was one time I had 100 First Communicants. And boy, was that a challenge to keep them all focused and attending in their brains and wanting to learn about that sacrament. Okay, so we talked about the first reconciliation. We talked about the insides of the First Eucharist, that program. We're going to start here slowly transitioning into resources that you can use to take things to the next level. Let me make sure I also note that First Reconciliation, Together in Jesus program, as well as the Eucharist, are both offered in Spanish. I want to make sure I mention that, as well as digital. Okay, so here are some items. I'm going to start with these two right here that can take your program to the next level. You will see, we looked at First Eucharist earlier. This is a smaller version of, you'll see the different size. This is called the My Family Activity and Memory Book. This really is a program or a little booklet that goes along with the larger Together in Jesus program. It's 32 pages. And this is also a good way of bringing in more of the family catechesis as well, because this is set up with 6, I want to say, lessons that go along with the initial program, if that makes sense. It has like a twofold type reason or purpose, I guess I should say. One is kind of like a keepsake because there's a lot of areas inside this booklet for the student to journal, draw pictures, add pictures, that type of thing. So it's perfect for like a keepsake, but it's also a good way to create conversation between the student and the family and the parent. Because it has an area that actually provides like an introduction to the parent, so the parent can kind of update themselves, and then it allows the children and the parent to kind of work together on some activities. So you'll see that here. Both programs have one, so First Reconciliation and First Eucharist, and they are also provided as a family pack. So if you're interested in purchasing, the program with this little guy, there is a family pack price, and Bob can put that in the chat as well. Okay, so I want to keep on schedule here because I know everyone's schedule is very, very important, and I want to respect that. Also, when I was in the parish environment teaching, the one thing that I always felt was important was creating that feeling, that prayerful feeling, I should say. And a lot of times I did that and provided items to the catechist to do that by music. The Gospel Weeklies have CDs, as well as, and I don't know if a lot of you know this, but Together in Jesus also has a CD that goes along with the program. It actually has First Reconciliation, First Eucharist, as well as Confirmation, the CD has. But also you have a book that is perfect for your organist or the person who plays the piano or any other type of instrument. The music here goes along with the CD. When I was at the parish, my pastor did not like CD music, so I always played over in the actual church itself. He preferred music played by our organist. Okay, well, it was perfect. Had this to go along with that. But then this was perfect for the classroom. But what's great, it's the same songs. So when you're preparing the sacrament prep lessons, your catechist is preparing, they can have a song playing when the students come in. Then they can play that same song on that special day in the church with this music. Okay, so that is an excellent way to just kind of step outside the box just a little bit. Now, some more resources we have. We're going to discuss some creative communications, and I'm going to ask Corinne to join us when she gets a second, because we are going to discuss different treasure maps that look like this and different sticker books that look like this. And Corinne is our specialist in these different resources. Like I've always said, Corinne, and some of you may have been on the road trip with Jen and Dave before and seen some of these items, but we wanted to be able to make a cohesive program with all of this. So you can use your Together in Jesus and then bring in all these other resources to complement the program. I always like to say that the treasure maps and the sticker books are perfect for the sacrament retreats, because we all know when you're doing those retreats, you're trying, how are we going to occupy that whole morning? We always used to do it from 9 to 12 and keep their attention and really have the children learn and absorb, because they are learning about their treasured Catholic faith. So what can we do and what type of products can we use to really bring that home? Corinne?
Yeah, thanks for having
Welcome.
me. Yeah, thanks. I wanted to share just a little snippet. As you know, I'm the marketing manager for creative communication, so my role is a little bit different, and I'm in a sister division. And so how does creative and FLOM differ? And FLOM really focuses on curriculum, and creative, I was trying to figure out what is it that we specialize in. And so I wrote this up recently, and I think it is a great summary that creative church goods are more than just paper. So what I show you today is more than meets the eye, and that's true across all of our products. They are tools for pastors and teachers to use with parishioners to captivate the attention, which is very important in today's world. We have so many distractions. They spark conversations. They're items that you can send home as visual reminders of biblical truths. So these printed materials share the written word through engaging activities and a shared experience. And I thought that was an excellent summary. That's what I'm going with, being a marketer, and I have to write marketing language. So
I think it's great.
Yeah, that's awesome. So that just gives you a little summary of creative communications and how we all fit together. So we sell very low cost bulk items that help support the ministry and outreach that you do. So thank you for having me today here, Jen and Bob. I'm going to share my screen here real quick, and we are going to try to stay on schedule, just as you mentioned before. So it's going to be kind of a speed session here, but I think you get the idea of what I'm sharing. So do you see my screen?
Yes, we do.
Okay, great. So Jen mentioned the little treasure maps, and we also have the Living Faith Kids sticker books. So we wanted to present today with SAC Prep 101 some products that can align together. It's not just one item. You can use one, you can use both, you can use them together. There's so much flexibility. It truly is creative. That is what creative communications is. It offers you opportunities to just make it unique. It doesn't have to be the same all of the time. So in today's session, these are the products that we're going to review. First off, we're going to look at, what do I see at church? So that's a good question. Kids are coming to Mass every Sunday and they wonder, they're sitting in this building, and as adults, we take it for granted that they just understand everything that they see. So these products are great, introducing what are all of the elements that they see in the building. Why are they significant? So the What Do I See at Church is the treasure map product. I'm going to go onto that page, and it comes in a 12 pack. It's $12.95. This special here with the webinar with Jen and Bob is $10, and it serves 12 students. So it's a simple treasure map sheet. The back has all of these elements, and I invite either one of you and Bob to jump in anything that I'm speaking about. You have used these in practice more than I have. So on the back, you get a lot of information about the vestments, for instance, or the lectionary, or the doors. Why are these all significant? And then they have little stickers. Well, what's great about this is it gives you, again, flexibility and creativity. How will I use these resources? You can use it for family catechesis. You can use it as part of your mini retreat. This would be a great intergenerational event. So you can have some of your senior parishioners that maybe don't have kiddos at home anymore, but just like to be part of church life, faith life, have them sit at different stations in the church, and they can hand out the stickers as the students come by, and then they can explain what that little piece, the element is that they're looking at. So I think this is a great, fun activity. Here's the
Let me jump in there real quick, if you don't mind, Corinne.
Please.
So Corinne said it perfectly. This is a way of flexibility, the stickers and things like that. We were talking earlier about how the Together in Jesus program utilizes the stickers, and it follows the same thought process. It's a way of teaching. It's a way of keeping them learning and attentive. And like you were saying, different groups can also participate while using these products during the sacrament retreats, or during the time frame when the children are studying and preparing for their sacraments. Utilize your youth group to come into the church. The youth group could also help the First Communicants with a program like this. What do I see at church? The little maps and the sticker books, like we're going to talk about here in a second.
Yeah.
Also, I wanted to just make sure I pointed out that there's 12 cardstock maps within an order for this product, correct, Corinne?
Right. It serves 12 students, right? 12 sheets, card stack. So it's not just paper. It's a little more durable. Card stack with sticker sheets. So each.
So that's yes. So that's $10 for a pack of 12. So that's an excellent price point.
Right.
Yes.
And the other thing I like to call this is it's a wiggle buster. So if you need an activity that gets students out of the chair, get them out walking around the church building. And this is just a great opportunity to mix up that learning. They sit at a desk all week long at school, so they need some variety. I just love this idea.
Yes.
Okay, so then I put the little treasure map in the corner because we're not talking about that now. Now we're talking about our Living Faith Kids sticker books. So we have about 16, 17 titles in the series right now. We'll have 2 new coming out in the fall with the Advent series for Creation and the Saints. So this is a great series, but we're just going to walk through this one. What do I see at church? It also has a teaching plan. So you can see here the price points, the price breaks, starts at $1.99, and then it breaks off with multiple quantities. Well, for Jen's event today, it's $1 per booklet. So that's a great deal. That's cheaper than our best price at 150 copies. So it's a great opportunity. And we created these teacher plans. So these little sticker books now can become a mini curriculum. And this is very similar to the things that you see in the treasure map. You can use them together in a mini retreat, a family catechesis event. I thought this might be, I'm throwing this out as an idea, but what if you have a teacher that can't make it one week and you need an activity? Maybe they're not as trained in the faith, but you need somebody to fill in. This is a great opportunity to use a teaching guide for a fill-in activity. So again, be creative. This is very simple, little 16-page booklets. The teaching guides walk you through what you can do for each page and each spread. So I'm just going to share. I could talk about these all day, so I'm just going to.
I know, and I love them. And it's so true, because I think we all know when we're in that position of trying to staff different in the parish environment, trying to get the the volunteers, for the different things that we all do as DREs and things like that, having a simplified and consistent, that's the other thing. So you could purchase several of these different sticker books. Corinne mentioned that there's several titles, 18, right? And so you could use them as missions, different missions that you may have coming up, a mini VBS. There's all kinds of different things. But here, when you're teaching the important sacrament of sacrament prep of first reconciliation and communion, having volunteers that are teaching the same information across the board, consistency is very important. And the teaching guides are perfect for that. Love it.
So this particular set that's loosely tied, but very well aligned, you could do the booklet first, and then you can use the treasure map as a follow-up event after you've gone through the booklet and the training. So they do work well together. So you have the candles and the vestments just as examples that were on the back of that treasure map. And then you can see that they also addressed in the little booklet. So they work perfectly together. Okay, so let's see here. What have I missed? Okay, and then just as a reminder, the Living Faith Kids sticker books, they have stickers in them, and everyone loves stickers. They're a lot of fun. So
they are.
They grab the attention, and just I'm showing you some other samples of what you would see. So there's the baptismal font, and then the pew and kneeler on the treasure map, and then we address the same topics, but at greater length in the sticker book. So they're very well aligned. All righty.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
And just some other topics just for you to glance at here, what you would see at church. So, all right. So now I'm going to jump into, the Rosary. So similar thing, we have the little treasure map concept product with the Living Faith Kids sticker book and a teaching guide. So the teaching guides are typically free if you buy 10 or more, but they are free with Jen and Bob's webinar. So it's a really great opportunity today. You get the $10 for the treasure maps, normally $12.95, $1 each for the booklets, and the teaching guides we're going to give away free because you attended today. Thank you so much. All right, so similar concept with the Rosary. You get the stickers. You can create a whole nother event. Again, so you could have these events maybe like quarterly or twice a year or mini retreats. There's all kinds of opportunities. Or maybe you decide to use one at different age levels. So maybe for one set of grades, you use one of our kits, and then you use the praying the Rosary for the next age group. So it's a great way to, again, be creative with these little treasure maps and Living Faith Kids sticker combinations. All right, I'm just going to jump through these.
And while you're jumping, a lot of different ministries within a parish, older women will sometimes make handmade rosaries, for the First Communicants. How perfect would that be to be able to give them a handmade rosary from a parishioner, and then to be able to walk them through at the retreat, for First Communion, to learn how to utilize their rosary, and then they could all have their rosary there at the actual First Communion service. I love that idea.
All right, so then we also, we don't have treasure maps that go with the God's gift for forgiveness or receive the Lord, but those are very important topics for sacramental prep. But you've seen the booklets as we page through them, the sticker booklets, there's activities and puzzles inside. I know that we're running low on time here, Jen, so I don't know if you want me to show anything else, or do we want to wrap it up a little bit?
Well, let's see here. What do you have left to show?
Okay, well, I
zip through it real quickly and
okay, so we'll do that. So this is just a PDF, but you can see the Receive the Lord. So I'm just going to scroll through the pages here.
Sometimes it's helpful to see, the teaching. While you're scrolling through, I'll just mention again, should you be interested in pre-ordering your Together in Jesus for next year, reach out to Bob or myself, we can do that. We can also take your order for anything that you're seeing on here. Or if you just want to put this information in the back of your mind, that's perfect too. And then that way you can, take that information next year when you're doing your planning for the sacraments. But you can see as Corinne's scrolling through there, all the different activities that are in the sticker books.
Mm-hmm. And that's excellent. I've taught a lot of classes with boys, and they just get really bored with coloring pages, not another coloring sheet.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, and it's not just boys, but we give them a lot of variety. So there's word puzzles, drawing activities. So there's a lot. Stickers, of course, are fun. Everybody loves stickers. So all of these booklets come with a teaching plan. So you can have a mini curriculum. It walks you through it.
Yes, it's already there for you. It's consistent.
Mm-hmm. And here's God's gift of forgiveness. So these are the topics that really relate specifically to SAC prep, which is what we were talking about today. But the artwork is engaging and lovely. And so, and I like that word you used earlier, vibrant. So that's what I'm going to share one more thing here. Let me grab.
And while you're doing that, I'll chime in a few things. We also have a sticker book, Praying the Rosary in Spanish. Not every sticker book is offered in Spanish, but this one is. So that's a great thing to remember.
Mm-hmm. So here's, you can get the entire series, but this just gives you an idea of some of the other books that are in the series for Living Faith, sticker books.
Because maybe you want to pull out one of the topics, because the Together in Jesus program touches upon a lot of Bible stories.
Mm-hmm.
So you could pull out some of this, a sticker book that references that Bible story, and create a program, for your retreat as well.
And then what do I see at church? The little treasure map. We do have a few other ones. So we have a few others in the series that you could include.
And don't forget, and see the church year. That actually is in the program as well. And don't forget that the treasure maps here are $10 each pack, and that has 12 maps in them. I like treasure maps, but it has 12 sheets in them with 12 sheets of stickers.
Right.
Yep.
And the last thing I just wanted, we have one more sister company that's not with us today, but the Living Faith Kids magazine is also a resource. And I would like to offer a free copy for anybody that would like to take a look at that. So I just wanted to remind everyone that that is also something that we have, and you can see that artwork is something that we pull from, and it coordinates with our sticker book. So that is a quick summary of what I have to share today. So thank you so much for including me. I could talk all day.
Oh, you are so welcome. And if you're interested in that sample that Corinne just mentioned, put your name in the chat. Bob will write those names down, and we'll make sure that we get those to you. And Corinne, we love you. You are an awesome person inside and out, and you have a wealth of knowledge, and we really appreciate it. And I'm sure that you gave everyone attending today some great ideas. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome.
And so blessings to everybody on your Lenten season and your upcoming Holy Week and Easter and your SAC prep planning preparation. So.
Oh, great. Yes, you too, Corinne. Thank you. So everyone, thank you again for joining us. We want to make sure that we stay on time. I have one quick question that I was going to ask of everyone. I'm going to ask you a question, and whoever answers the question first will get in the mail from me this Change It Up over 150 catechetical ideas. It's from our sister company, 23rd Publication. So I was going to mail that out to whoever answers this question first. And it's a kind of an easy question. So get ready, get your fingers on the keyboard. Ready? So I mentioned in my webinar earlier, and this is the question, how many lessons are in the First Reconciliation program? Eileen, girl. I think Eileen was first, right, Bob? Oh, that's wonderful. Well, Eileen, I got your
Yes.
address.
Eileen got it, so.
You did? Girl,
Good.
you're quick.
Mhm.
Well, wonderful. Okay. Well, I will make sure that I get that out in the mail to you. If there are other topics that you would like to see a webinar about, please put in the chat or feel free to email myself or Bob, and we will create one of those for you. Please remember and hold the date and put it on your calendar that next month in April, we will be doing a 101 with Jen Gospel Weeklies. And Bob, that date is, I want to make sure I have it correct. It is April 20th. It's at April 20th, and it is at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So make sure that you put that on your calendar, because I know pretty much all of you use the Gospel Weeklies, and we really appreciate that. But we are going to then take it one step further. We're going to kind of run through the Gospel Weeklies, make sure we point out a few highlights here and there, and then we're going to talk about how to take that program to the next. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Reach out to Bob and myself at any time, and we're here to help you. And hopefully we'll see you next month at the next webinar. Everyone have a great evening. Thanks again for joining.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.